Hey, so hopefully everybody can hear me okay. My husband's out mowing the lawn, the kids are asleep, and I wanted to talk about questioning velocity and prospecting tonight. And I will be sharing this on my page that other people are a part of that aren't friends with me, but I figured sharing it here, whoever feel like hopping on can. So if you are watching, and I will be uploading this to YouTube as well. So if you are watching, just let me know you're here, drop a comment below, and let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. And if you guys ask questions, I'll be sure to answer them afterwards, but I felt I needed to talk about questioning velocity today because I realized probably about a week ago that I was losing touch with a lot of my prospects, not in the sense of like not connecting or contacting them, but in the sense of like not getting personal with them. So it was kind of very impersonal. Lately I haven't had a lot of time, so I've been doing a lot of passive prospecting. I've been doing a lot of advertisements. So anytime you throw an ad out there, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Craigslist, a newspaper, bandit signs, whatever it may be, that is a form of passive prospecting. So what I realized is with this passive prospecting, I was throwing them in these prospecting pipelines, but I wasn't figuring out what their pain was. I was just kind of throwing information at them as far as what their next exposure was going to be, and I wasn't converting well. So I was maybe converting 1 out of 20, which isn't that great. And then I kind of changed things up the other day. And now I'm looking at about out of the 10 people I've talked to, I'm probably going to convert 3. So that's a 30% conversion rate. I mean, that's unheard of. To me, that's fantastic. I'm crossing my fingers that everything will go through. I'm not really super concerned about it because I'm here to present an opportunity, and people don't want to take a hold of that, and that's their choice. And they can continue to live life the way that they're living. Now, I'm not going to go into any type of objection handling here or anything like that. I'm just simply going to talk about questioning velocity and why it is important. So, when I talk about questioning velocity, what I mean is that when you are talking to somebody, whether it's online or offline, you need to rapid fire questions out there. And I'm not saying like rapid fire to the point where you're clearly not listening to them. It needs to be a conversation, but you need to listen because first of all, you have to find out what type of personality that person is. And then you have to figure out what their pain points are. And this is really important. Once you know what their big pain point is, then you have the golden key. Like it is the golden ticket into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. No joke. Once you have that, you're good. That's powerful stuff. So say somebody's pain is, for me, my pain was my kids are in daycare. They're not being well taken care of. I don't want them to be in daycare, even though I'm working or surviving. However, to keep my husband home, I have to find something that's going to change that. That was my pain point, right? So I was easy because I, did the research I needed to do and I jumped on board with the company that I was in. However, with some people, you kind of have to show them what your opportunity is going to do to change their current situation. So, for example, if it is a stay-at-home mom who feels like she needs to contribute more to the family by providing money towards bills or putting food on the table, then you take your opportunity and you show her how you can make that happen, how she can make that happen. Because ultimately, they're the people putting in the work, not you, right? So make that very clear when you're signing people up. But when you first start this process of prospecting, most of the people are your cold market. You want to begin to ask questions at a rapid rate. So if you start talking to somebody, you might be like, hey, I'm just curious, what do you do? And then like you start talking, they'll tell you about what they do currently for work. And then you can ask them a question like, okay, well, how'd you get into that? Or how long have you been doing that for? Do you enjoy it? Do you work a lot of long hours? Like that's really, you just start asking them more and more questions so that way they're digging deeper. And make sure you're listening, because the more you listen to them, the more open they feel, and then the more likely they are to release information that is going to help you show them how your opportunity is going to make an impact and a difference in their life. So it's really important for you guys to understand that. It's not about going out and messaging as many people as you possibly can in a day. A lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, well, I messaged, 50 people today and it was awesome. Okay, well, there's a difference when you're messaging 50 people a day of some bullshit script where you're not turning a cold prospect into somebody warmer, hot, on fire to the point where they are freaking melting, and they're either going to join you or they're going to figure something else out. I mean, you have to make that cold to warm to hot to in. And a lot of people are like, well, if I just blast out this cold script message, I'm going to get like a gajillion people. No, because there's so much of that out there that people are tired of it. So my suggestion to you is stop doing that right now. If you want more leads and you want more conversion, you need to figure out what that person's is. You send them a message and say, hey, I got this opportunity, it's a ground floor and blah, blah, and you're going to make $1 million and we're going to be rich and it's going to be awesome. Somebody's going to read that and be like, what the fuck is this person talking about? They're going to have no idea. They're going to be like, all right, I'm just going to move on, not respond, and or even block you, and then you just lost a potential prospect for ever and ever. A better way to do that is, okay, figure out why you're messaging this person. Say you found them in I keep going back to the mother thing because I am a mother, so it's easy for me. I'm a part of a lot of these mom groups. Say you go to the mom groups, okay? Go to the mom groups and there's somebody there that's posting about some stuff, and you go and look at their profile and you see they're a stay-at-home mom and they're not involved in anything outside of their stay-at-home momness, and you think that this would be a good opportunity for them. So you send them a message. 90% of the people are going to send a message that says exactly what I told you guys. This is the ground floor opportunity. You can make that. Blah blah blah. People don't care about that. So don't do that. Stop it right now. Instead, you want to message these people that you so choose to do and strike up a conversation with them. Like, hey, I saw you posting on the moms group about, your kid peeing on the floor. Like, I totally feel your pain. I'm potty training my kid and she's peeing all over the place. I guess that's a focal point for me lately because we're potty training Matilda. And strike up a conversation that way. Start to get to know the person. Yes, this way of prospecting takes longer, but you have to understand it takes 6 to 8 exposures for somebody to join your opportunity. 6 to 8. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 6 to 8. For some people, it'll take 1. For some people, it'll take 20. You don't know. Okay? And the timing isn't always going to be right for everybody. But the point of it is once you start talking to the person that you would like, to join your team, or you think that the opportunity would be beneficial, then you start asking questions. What do you do? How do you get into that? Like, do you like what you're doing? Is there anything that you would change? Like, what would your ideal situation be? What would be your ideal job? Things like that. And it really makes a huge difference when you do that. And then when you start rapid firing questions and you're listening to them and paraphrasing back about how like you've gone through the same shit or whatever it may be, they're going to be more prone to start trusting you, and then you automatically build a rapport with them. So once you build that relationship, it's really difficult for them to not want to join them. Whether it's, makeup or health and wellness or Tupperware or candles or whatever, as long as it's something that they're into, right? I'm not going to go message somebody about my opportunity who doesn't, partake in certain activities. And I'm not going to message somebody about my opportunity if I know for a fact, like, they just aren't into it. Like, because it's very rare that somebody who isn't into your product is going to join. Somebody that joins network marketing has to be behind the product or involved. For example, I don't know how many messages I get a day about makeup. If anybody knows anything about me, which most of you do, I don't wear it. I wear eyeliner, and that's about it. I will maybe put eyeshadow on if it's the weekend. Now, especially that I have kids, I do not wear makeup. So when somebody continues to send me messages about their makeup company, I start getting pretty pissed off because they clearly haven't read my profile. They clearly haven't taken the time out to get to know me. And there's no way in heckola that I'm even going to consider joining their opportunity because they didn't make any effort. I can give you another example because, as you guys know, I am trying out a health and wellness supplement right now. I've been approached about that specific supplement several times by several different people. What made me decide to go underneath the person that I am currently with right now as a customer is that her and I built a relationship. She wasn't pushy about it. And I told her, like, listen, the price point is a little high for me right now. We just went through a move. I'm waiting on some money. She never pushed me. She was interested in, what was going on in my life and vice versa. Like, she's a customer of mine now too. And we have built this relationship where we're helping each other out. And it's actually been beneficial so far. So, I mean, she approached the situation so much differently than somebody else. And she asked me questions like, hey, how's your energy levels? Like, this is how this will help your energy levels. Like, I totally understand. I had a few kids and, like, this is how this helped me. So, I mean, there was a relationship being built there versus these other people who came in and they're just blasting me with all this information. Like, I don't want that. Don't blast me about your information. Build a relationship with me and I will be more prone to buy your product or service. Seriously, try it. Try it. If you guys are out there prospecting right now, I want you to try asking more questions more frequently at a more rapid pace and see what happens. You just have to have good organization. So I have a spreadsheet. When I start talking to somebody, I have their name. I have like 8 columns next to it and a notes column. So each time exposure, whether it's an opportunity call or a video or a 3-way call or a brochure or an event, whatever it might be about the opportunity itself, I mark down and I keep track of when I talk to these people. And then I have times where I make sure that I follow up with them. And it's important. So if you keep yourself organized, the questioning velocity way of things can be very, very effective because you are building a relationship and you really need to think about it. When you're having people join your opportunity too, you don't want somebody who's a complete fucking asshole. I've had that happen. Okay, I've had people join my opportunity after just a few exposures, and then I find out, holy shit, this person on my team, like, they're kind of a jerk. And then I'm screwed because they're a part of my team, and I have to be there for them and help them through the struggles. I mean, it's happened more times than I can count. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. And I think it's hard for people to understand that because they're like, oh, well, if I have a team of like 500 people, that's great. That's great if you have a team of 500 people, but only 5 of them are working. If I have a team of 20 people and 18 out of the 20 are quality and they're going to be working, then it's a big, big difference between the other person who has 500. I'm telling you guys. Seriously, it makes a huge difference. And how do you know if it's a quality person? You question the fuck out of them. Not like it's an interrogation too, by the way. Make sure it's conversational. And, I'll be more than happy to go through some examples of this when I post the video on my blog. I will make sure that I go through some examples. But seriously, the more you question somebody and build that relationship, the better off you are. You learn if they're going to be somebody who's of quality to join your team or your opportunity. And you're going to learn more about them and how you can help them. And if they're looking to grow like at a crazy rapid rate, or if they're just looking to be like, because some people only want like a couple $100 extra a month. And they're cool with that. So, I mean, if that's how they want to do things, then that's how they want to do things. And then then it's easy. You can let them, like, fly in the wind and do it we need to do. So, like I said, if you guys have questions about questioning, but it's all about pinpointing pain, asking questions to the point where you're learning more about that person, you're pre-qualifying them, you're finding out somebody that you even want on your team. Geez Louise, the other day I messaged this girl. She was commenting on a lot of different posts in a work from home group, and I was like, man, clearly this girl's looking for an opportunity. So I sent her a message and she responded back. I asked her if she'd be open to looking at some more information or learning some more information about my, and she messaged me back possibly. And I will talk about posture in another video, probably sometime this week, because it's important. So I messaged her back and was like, okay, possibly, no problem. Like generally it's a yes or a no. If you're not that into it, no big deal. I wasn't trying to be mean. Now sometimes through text these things can get a little misconstrued. She blasted me on Facebook Messenger. I mean, she was like, I'm at work right now and I'm an RN and blah, blah, and you don't have to be rude and all this shit. And I was like, whoa, all I was telling you was possibly is fine. If you're not into it, that's cool. I don't have to send you any more information. I'm just here to pass on opportunity. And she went off. Some people are going to be like that. But you know what? I could have continued the conversation with her and got her to the point where she was going to look at more information. But I realized right away, pre-qualifying, that there was no way in heck that I wanted this girl on my team. I wouldn't have been able to work with her. So I moved on. It was easy for me. I just said next, and on I went. So questioning velocity is really important, guys. Make sure you're asking the right questions. If you need help with it, let me know. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll see what I can't do. I can, if you could send me a screenshot of your conversation with somebody, and I can say, hey, you should ask them this, this, and this, and roll with it. I mean, don't be afraid to do it. All you're doing is talking to people, okay? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. People overcomplicate it. It's not as complicated as you think. So just ask the right question, pre-qualify, learn their pain points, tell them how your opportunity is going to solve their pain points, and wrap it up. Utilize your upline to get on that three-way call and have them close for you, okay? Three-way calls are important, and I'll talk about three-way calls in another video. If you guys have any questions about what I just talked about, let me know. I'm going to post a link to this on my Tanya Sue McCarthy page. I'm going to post this on YouTube, and the blog post should be out probably either tonight or tomorrow with some examples. And like I said, if you guys have anything else, please let me know. I hope you got some value out of this, and I hope everybody has a great Sunday night, and I will talk to you all later.